EOM Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
There have been multiples of senseless killings and avoidable accidents of recent times. Please, dear Nigerian government, the people are weeping. Our country is bitter. Do something fast to avoid a repeat of this accident. Hello dear, good to be on your screen again. You're watching the EOM Business Network and I am your host, Ethel Okwala. Business as usual. We will kick off with the news segment. Thereafter, spot on with the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Pinnatech Engineering Nigeria Limited, Chief Christopher Ndubisi. And on the face-to-face with the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Mchornsen Logistics Nigeria Limited, Prosper Emeka Duru. This is another episode you can't afford to miss. Sit back, relax as I bring you the details.
This is an amazing job opening. Media television marketing. A university or polytechnic degree in marketing or mass communications. XNYC. Good looks. Good spoken English. Marketing experience. Between 22 and 40 years old. 5 feet 9 inches tall or more. 250,000 naira per month. A car and a driver. If the cap fits, then send your CV to eombusinessnk@yahoo.com. Let us start with the engineering sector. Government has been criticized for its inadequate support for indigenous content providers in Nigeria. In an exclusive chat with EOM Business Network News, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of News Engineering Nigeria Limited, Lady Josephine Nwaze, questioned the policies of government which favor foreign engineers over their indigenous counterparts.
Engineering industry in Nigeria has actually come a long way. If you ask me, they are not doing badly, but some policies need to be changed. Some of the policies they adopt in Nigeria is such that don't favor the indigenous companies. You can hardly see in a foreign company that can showcase the kind of profile we have as an indigenous company. But sadly enough, Nigerian government is not doing much to support indigenous companies. They prefer dealing with foreigners. And at the end of the day, these foreigners will carry all the money and go back to their country. And yet we are crying wolf that there's unemployment. We are crying we need to build our economy. There's no other way of doing it than supporting an indigenous company on ground. I'll give you an example. Recently there was an advert for a project, and the conditions that you'd have to meet to pre-qualify for that project is impossible. Don't forget that we're just managing to come out of recession. The financial requirements, the technical requirements, is impossible. They made it look impossible for any indigenous company to qualify.
Now to agriculture. Inaccessibility to loans is one of the major challenges facing farmers in Nigeria, and this development has largely affected their operations. Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Kash Integrated Nigeria Limited, Patrick Ugumba, is critical of the management of loan schemes for farmers in Nigeria.
Government have these loan schemes, but farmers are actually not accessing it. It's not reaching farmers out there, you know. I've tried to access one before now, the Anchor Borrowers Program, you know. After we attended the training and everything, you know, till date, that was 2 years ago, you know, till date, they are still telling us they will disburse, you know. And what do you think I should do? I should just sit back and still listening to they will disburse one day? No, I had to take action by trying to create a model, you know, through Cash to help the farmers that is in our network. And that's what we're trying to do, you see. So there are so many people out there that are frustrated, you know, even trying to access these loans themselves, you know. And that is one area that the government need to really work on, to ensure that the people that these loans are meant for, they are getting it.
And to health matters. Chief Consultant General and Laparoscopic Surgeon of Modelcare Hospital, Major General Dr. Samuel Ame, spoke to EOM Business Network News on the state of specialized healthcare services in Nigeria.
We've come this far, maybe on a very slow path. If you recall, some years back, private hospitals, they operate from very small infrastructures, maybe 2, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, and you have one doctor who tries to render a range of services. But now you have hospitals operating from bigger edifices with highly specialized people, and equipment-wise too. We have state-of-the-art equipment in most of our hospitals. No, so we're growing, but there's still a lot to be done.
And that is the EOM Business Network News. ARB Solar Investment Limited, the renewable energy giant and solar hub of Africa, is a consultancy and general contracting company positioned to providing quality alternative power solutions in Nigeria. Since 2010, JRB Solar Investment Limited has been working strategically to facilitate innovative productions and distribution of environmentally sustainable energy solutions. JRB Solar Investment Limited is into sales, installation, maintenance, and servicing of highly efficient and durable alternative energy systems of various capacities. Come over to JRB Solar Investment Limited, 2 IBM Haruna Street, Utako District, Abuja, Nigeria. Call telephone number 080-5775-5008, 080-5943-9425, 080-600-81887. JRB Solar Investment Limited, your one-stop shop for renewable energy solutions.
Polycarp Didan is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Veritas Capital Assurance PLC.
You know, every economy is dynamic. The whole world too is dynamic. We live in a global world where there are changes all over the world. Now, any business that does not change, is bound to go into extinction. It will interest you to note that myself and the board are new people in this, in this organization. We took over this organization sometimes in last quarter of last year. And so the board, management, and everyone have said we need to build a world-class company. And you cannot build a world-class company if you don't change what is on the ground, if you don't change the status quo, if you don't think out of the box. So one of the reasons for the change is to, reposition ourselves, for greater challenges, is to reposition ourselves to adding value to our stakeholders, is to reposition ourselves to adding value to our partners, to our customers, to the international community. I think where we found ourselves today is as a result of what happened in 2015. We've gone through a cycle of recession from when the new government came in. Recession dragged on until sometimes the last quarter of last year, and partly the effect we also felt it in 2018. Of course, typical of any economy that is under recession, a lot of things happen to businesses. Businesses shrink and what have you. The sector I represent, which is the insurance sector, which is a subsector of the finance sector of the economy, has also been hard hit. And we as a company too has been hard hit. But for us, one of the things that is holding us strong is because of the strong fundamentals that we have. But again, we have said to ourselves, in spite of the challenges, we need to make a difference. And so we are still strong and hoping that now that we're out of recession, big businesses will begin to pick up, and then we record whatever we. I think it's purely political. This is not the first time we're doing budget. Even when we're kids, budget will always pass and there will always be problems. I think the problem with budget, especially in an economy like Nigeria, is implementation. I mean, we have very good plans, one of the very strong plans, very sound plans. Unfortunately, when it comes to implementation, that has always been the problem. So the issue is not the argument about the budget, it is about implementation. Because if you look at what had happened even in the last budgetary year in 2017, I don't think we have, in terms of implementation, we have done 70% of what we said we were going to do. And that's the problem. So the problem is not on who padded the budget or when it was passed or when it was not passed. The problem has always been implementation because, like I said, our budget process is always very good, but implementation has always been the problem. Well, again, you cannot blame this government for corruption, for what is happening in the economy now. We have had corruption, for so many years now, even though it's not peculiar to Nigeria. The level, the scale is alarming, especially when it comes to Nigeria. I think recently, Transparency International, rated us very high, that there's no improvement. So what does that tell you? That even in spite of the fact that we have a government that is fighting corruption, we still have not achieved what we want to be.
Engineer Ahmed Al-Sharif is the General Manager of Ketswa Engineering and Project Management Limited.
Ketswa Engineering and Project Management is an offspring of Kets, Sudan, which is also a product of Kenana Sugar Company, the largest integrated sugar company in the world, which was established in 1975 and diversified its products from sugar to have ethanol, animal feed, spare parts, farm machinery and implements. Established KETS, which is Kenana Engineering and Technical Services, in 1986, or to meet the demand for the consultancy services in the field of agriculture, sugar production, and agribusiness generally. Sugar is on everybody's budget and every family's table, and is a very essential item that is source of energy in the food chain. And the Nigerian situation is 95% of the sugar consumed is imported, while the country has the potential to really produce more than what it needs. The government came into the sugar sector for some time. They set up the National Sugar Development Council, which is leading the sugar sector in Nigeria, but of course needs some more help, more support, and more effort to help the sector grow. GIVE is consulting for the sugar sector, the government and the private sector. The government represented by the National Sugar Development Council. We have good relations with them. We have been conducting some of the studies for them. We even had an input, even though small, on the Nigerian Sugar Master Plan. And for the private sector, we also have rendered our services to the major player in the sugar sector, that is the Dangote Sugar Refinery, and some smaller players also who contact us for our services, and we are meeting. The major service we give is the consultancy.
Christopher Ndebisi is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Pinnatech Engineering Nigeria Limited.
Pinnatech as a company was registered in 2005, and since then we've been working hard to make sure Nigerians smile. Actually, the leading vision and mission is that I want to get to the top, and want to make sure that Nigerians in middle and low class get affordable houses, and also to take part in structural and the remodeling of Nigerian road network, and also in the building and building a good edifice for Nigerians. The core values in Pinnatech mainly is good works, making sure that people are happy, that Nigerians are happy. We've been involved in housing program. We've been involved in airport remodeling. We've been involved in different road projects in Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, FEMA, FCT, Ministry of Agriculture. There are rural roads and the road leading to different farms. And we've been involved in Ministry of Education. We've done a lot in construction of classrooms. We've done a lot in construction of hostels, and the project has come out very well. And that's why people have confidence in us. When they saw the Pinnatech estate, they were very happy. They knew that we've been there, and we'll make sure that whatever we are giving Nigerians are qualitative and good works, which we are known for. The activities of real estate in Nigeria, so far so good. The players has been doing very well. They've been trying, but there's something missing in the industry. What is missing is that the government support have not been inculcated in what we are doing. Because by the time the government realized that we need single digit to drive the sector, every Nigerian will own a house. If you go abroad and you are working, you have a good job, you are entitled to a house, because of course your work can give you a house, and you'll be paying gradually as you work. But here is a different thing, because one is that cost of money here is very high. So we need government to come in to make the interest a single digit, so that every Nigerian can smile more. The other businesses I'm involved in is computer business. I'm the MD of Mchornsen Computers Limited. We're into hardwares and softwares. We provide the ministries and parastatals with hardwares such as laptops, desktops, printers, and other items, and also provide technical support to them, such as networking and maintenance of their systems. Mchornsen Computers Limited, is well known. People like our products, and people patronize us because we sell a quality materials such as inks, printers, desktop and laptops and other things. Actually, we are one of the HP resellers. When you are buying all these products from the channel, it helps to reduce fake products that are everywhere. But we are known for our genuine products.
Prosper Emeka Duru is the Managing Director of Mchornsen Logistics Nigeria Limited.
We are currently undertaking real estate development projects, and then starting with acquisition of large tracts of land where customers, intending landowners, property owners buy into, and then safe investments which they can always develop into, housing projects or any other projects that suits their purpose within the framework of the residential or the estate scheme itself. Our core values are number one, integrity, friendship building, knowing who we deal with, and then trying to meet their needs as much as possible with what is obtainable on ground, and of course building reputation and continuity in everything we do. We just concluded one recently, a peace culture, and then that's an estate also that we did, and then we have people buying into it from all over, and basically making sure people buy into safe investment in the real estate subsector of the Nigerian economy. I think it has improved. I think it has improved because you see a couple more projects, here and there, all over, and generally, I think it has improved. I think the housing system is being improved upon, and then even right here in this axis, in the Lekki, Aja, Ibeju-Lekki axis, you have more of it coming up. We haven't heard much about building collapses as we used to have in the past, so I think that is indicative of the fact that it has drastically reduced. Because I know that Lagos State has laws in place whereby when structures collapse, the property will be forfeited to the government if Lagos State government does whatever they have to do, and then most times I think it's forfeited really, just like fire outbreaks too. It has really helped to portray the country Nigeria in a different light, unlike before the advent of the internet and social media, because there has been a lot of negative ideas and information about Nigeria. So with all of this, they get to know more. They can actually hear and see the National Assembly, the House of Reps sitting in the House. They hear them deliberating on laws, and so many other things that one can actually catch up on, live, maybe on the internet or TV or social media, whatever, So I think it has been a good one. I think it needs to be improved upon. I think it needs to be, there's always room for improvement, and generally it should be improved upon, because things ought to work for everybody. And I'm actually working on a project now where, for instance, I'm working on a project for, like a street guide, some parts of Ikoyi and its environs, to easily identify, government establishments at, click of buttons, and then, so I think a lot of things, need to be improved upon in Nigerian infrastructure. I think the first thing is electricity. We need power, and then we also face the challenges of quacks in the industry. We also face the challenges of people who don't know what they are doing, and also some clients too can be difficult too. And then but we always have our ways of doing things, so electricity majorly, and then I think trying to regulate also the industry so that there won't be indiscriminate price fixing, and taking advantage of prospective clients that want to buy into the real estate sector.
Every organization or every person should try at every point in time to see what are the risky things in what they are doing.
Wow, and on this note, to call it a wrap, many thanks indeed for being part of this. On behalf of the rest of the production team, our sincere appreciations goes to our sponsors for their continuous interest and support. Don't forget to follow us on the EOMB's network across all social media platforms. I am Ethel Okpala. Do have a great week.